so we ain't really never had no old money. We got a whole lot of new money, though. Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, dot. Cooking up dope in the pot. We came from nothing to something, nigga. I don't turn nobody with it, nobody. All of the gang and they coming to gang. Got me a river to do with my shit. Bad and boozy, bad. Cooking up dope with a boozy. My niggas is sad and moving. We got thudders and 100 round too. My bitch is bad and boozy, bad. Cooking up dope with a boozy. My niggas is sad and moving. We got thudders and 100 round too.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. How are we doing? Welcome to Afternoon BetSPRESSO. We are without our fearless leader, as you guys can see, but he is being a good son. So W's out there too. SBJ being a good son. We will hold down the fort for him. Welcome to Afternoon BetSPRESSO, part of the Betting News Network, powered by our lovely sponsors at BetOnline. You guys know that drill. QR code is sitting up there in the top of the screen, just waiting to be scanned to get some funds in your account instantly. I got my boy Vsauce and Sook with us today. Gerald, we're stuck. We're stuck with us three, man. This is what we got. This is the lineup we rallied today. It might not be our starting lineup, but it's what we're putting out on the court today. So
we're gonna step up.
Yeah, we're gonna go out there, role players. They're gonna step up. They're gonna get the job done.
And we already got a bang, boys.
Oh, let's go.
It's good.
Pika Wawa.
Pika Wawa. Hey, Pika Wawa. We
Coach
appreciate
in chat.
We appreciate the sub bang. Appreciate that. Gentlemen, it's Thursday. There's a lot to talk about on the slate. We got college hoops. We got NBA. We got a big Thursday night football matchup. How are you two doing? How's your Thursday been?
Oh, looking at that slate, you have to smile.
Oh, of course.
Dude, it's been a long time since we've had an NBA slate on a Thursday as fat as today. And in addition to that, you've got the Lions and the Packers on Thursday Night Football. Like, me and Sir can be fighting later on the show, but we'll save that for when we get to the game.
Hey, I mean, if the Celtics were playing, it'd be like Vsauce's Christmas. Unfortunately, not on the roster tonight. They're going to be they got a game tomorrow at home. But yeah, you said it. Eight NBA games on the slate, bunch of college hoops, not so many good ones that we had because we had a gauntlet of college basketball yesterday. But a couple spots still to talk about.
We got another bang.
And we got another bang. Let's go. Hey, first up the cruise. Hey, Myler, let's go. As always, get another round. Get another bang in here. Thanks for everybody to go around. Well, gentlemen, should we just get right into it? I think I did all the regular housekeeping that I'm supposed to.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful job.
I hear a lot about these California college kids.
Yeah. Let's discuss, because every California state school is playing today, and we're gonna bet on a couple of them. So let's just get into some college ball. Starting off with the UC Davis Aggies. We're backing them on the money line at -135. I did not do my due diligence and check the line prior to the show. Let's hope it's still around there. I don't think it's steamed up too much. Davis. Boom, -135 right there for you. Same line as I did. UC Davis hosting Cal Poly at home. I really just like them being at home in this spot. They are a battle-tested team. They've got 4 other top 100 games already this season and 1 top 75 victory, beating Grand Canyon by 7 on the road. Coming off 2 straight losses where they've kind of gotten their ass handed to them. Now they host a Cal Poly team that doesn't do much offensively at all. Cal Poly does like to push the pace, though. I think that's going to help the Aggies, who have a much more efficient offense. Cal Poly, I mean, they're north of 300 and turnover rate, offensive rebounds, free throw rate. They don't get to the line. They do shoot a ton of threes, don't necessarily shoot them well. I think UC Davis will be able to defend the perimeter at home and get the job done. So give me the UC Davis Aggies over Cal Poly tonight.
Let's go.
Okay. Shaggy, next.
This one, my favorite. This one, okay. Me and Colby were talking, and there's a team in Idaho that I was calling my little college hoop sweetheart, the Idaho State Bengals. I'm turned off by them now. All right, and I am all about. Nothing happened. They were playing good. I don't think they're going to be as good as I kind of thought they were going to be, but this team has climbed every advanced analytic ranking these first few weeks of the season. And I think they might be my little CBB sweetheart. It is the Cal State Northridge Matadors. The Matadors of Northridge, 5.5-point favorites tonight against UC Riverside. The Matadors aren't necessarily a battle-tested team. They've been beaten up on a bunch of teams ranked north of 300. However, coming off a tough win against Montana State, who does rank 150th overall on Bart Torvik, the Matadors run. They run. They're ranked 18th in pace. They don't take a ton of threes, but they get to the line a ton. Very efficient offense, top 120 in EFG percentage. Hey, man. In and out, baby. In and out. That's the way we like it. Defensively, though, the Matadors, extremely good. Top 70 in EFG percentage, turnover percentage. They force a ton, and they clean up the defensive glass, limiting the offensive rebounds. Top 12 in offensive rebound percentage allowed. I think the pace is going to be too much for Riverside, who likes to play a slower ball game. They don't have the offense, I think, to keep up with the Matadors, who are going to push the pace, and defensively, they don't force turnovers. They don't keep the opponent off the free throw line. This game just has the Matadors blowout written all over it. So give me Cal State Northridge to win by 6. Let me check that number 2. I believe that one's still there. Oh, it's -5. It's -5. Even better. Get a better number than I did on Cal State Northridge to cover the spread, and then UC Davis tonight on the money line. I do have a full lean sheet out, as always, on my Twitter, but those are the 2 that I got my coins on tonight.
I will say that college mascots go hard. You got the CS Northridge Matadors versus the UC Riverside Highlanders.
Oh, dude. I mean, some of those state schools are hilarious. You got the CS Fullerton Titans, Cal Irvine Anteaters. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome.
And all these games are late games. So all you guys on the East Coast or Central time zones, these are a late start. Not saying we're going to be chasing at the end of the night, but if you're looking for, you made some units, you want to throw some out there, right?
If you have to, 8 o'clock Central start time. Boom. Austin got Northridge at -4.5. Even better. University of Visa. I'm not reading that, fan.
You know it's going to be a good day in college basketball when you look at the score app and then you only see 3 games, but you really got to go into
you have to click into NCAB, exactly.
Giant list. So there's some teams that you probably have never heard of.
Absolutely.
That way you look at the lean sheet.
And dude, that's my kind of slate. Let me tell you, that's my kind of slate.
What are these called? The Ball State. Ball States.
Ball Sack State specialist.
Ball Sack State. That's the word I was looking for. It's been a while.
It's been a while, man, but we're back. We're back. And I mean, we got to have this conversation all the time when talking about college hoops, but there's 364 teams. Mm-hmm. The books do not care about Cal State Northridge and UC Riverside. They care about Bama, North Carolina last night, Auburn, Duke last night. That is where all the money is. That is where all the traders are paying attention to. They don't care if they mess up a line in some mid-major basketball game.
Forget about even that. Like, that's a stretch. You got a Thursday night football game on today with 2 of the best offenses in football.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
One of the best divisions. And then you have an NBA slate that is almost, is this 10 games? I think it is tonight.
8 games.
8 games.
8 games on the NBA slate. And then you have NHL on as well. Like,
right.
Nobody's worried about UC Davis or Cal State.
The handle is not big enough for them to even care. If they mess up and leave the line 5 points off, it's the way it goes.
Hey, both offenses in the top 7, Gerald. Go look it up.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there. All right, but you said it'd be 8-game NBA slate. I know you two gentlemen have a lot to discuss, so lay it on me. What do you guys like in the association?
Vsauce, I'll go first because I got 2 plays, and one of them I haven't even really put in yet. But the first one we got SGA returning. He was born in Toronto and grew up in Hamilton, Ontario, but I'm not going there. I'm going with Case and Wallace. I don't know why this number is here. Over 5.5 assists and rebounds, it's juiced -145. I don't know why that number is there. I think he's going to play well. SGA has not historically had a banger of a game against Toronto for whatever reason. I know you probably have a play in this game, but I hate to put you on the spot. What do you think about SGA's points in this one? I haven't tapped the button, but I really want to, but he hasn't had a huge game, a triple-double, anything in Toronto for whatever reason.
Yeah, honestly, when I saw that too, so I was looking at his numbers, just being the Canada kid back in Toronto, and it's one thing to be from Canada, but it's another thing to actually be from Toronto, right? He's from Mississauga, I'm pretty sure.
He's from Hamilton. So
Hamilton.
He's over there by the factory. He's looking at Toronto. The 6 was like a shining beacon of hope for him.
Absolutely. So it's strange to look at, especially a guy who's had so many big games, but it's Shea. Like, he's very consistent in what he's been doing over the last 2 years, like 30-point night, 30-point night. But Shea's also a guy that just had his career high this year with his first 50-point game. And when you think about that, it's surprising with the way he's played and how fucking good he really is, right? And I just think that this is another one of those situations where the Raptors have been a good defensive team in years past. This year, obviously, they've taken a little bit of a step back from what we've seen early on. But they've been good on the wings at the wing position. They've had a guy like Scotty Barnes, who is known as a good defender, who is another big body that sometimes when you have to match up with him on the defensive side for you, it can make your offense that much harder to come by. But I do really like this play, Sook. I didn't have the balls to pull the trigger because of his numbers, but the fact that you like it makes me really, really like it.
I want to press it. I want to go into the book.
It's not often you like a chalk play
35.
like this. Like, ask chat right now. Chat, how often is it that Sook comes in here with a Luka Doncic or a Jason Tatum or a Nikola Jokic? It doesn't happen. So if you want to take Shea, I want to take Shea. You know what I mean? Chat, I think I'm betting Shea with you tonight. What's the line? 30.5?
Yeah, and I also think the Raptors can cover that 9.5.
I was actually going to ask you about that next. Do you think that this Raptors team is good enough? Like, dude, the spread feels short. I know that 11.5, but this OKC team, if you were telling me they're playing in OKC, it feels like a 14.5 spread against this Raptors team, right? 9.5 on the road in Canada on the East Coast. So who is it for the Raptors then that's going to keep them in this game?
I think they're going to get a little bit of a boost from Grady Dick. He is coming back. The Dick is back, boys.
Boom! On the table.
I just think the Raptors are a team that's starved for shooting. So even though Grady Dick was kind of in a slump before he went out with injury, I think he does bring back what's the word? A certain amount of gravity on the outside, on the perimeter. Teams react to his pump fakes. He's a very, very good player, a smooth athlete that can get to the rim. So I think Grady Dick actually does move the needle. I can't say his name without laughing.
I really agree. And for that reason too, so it's the reason I really like Scotty Barnes' assists today. He's a guy that has been doing a fantastic job at the point guard spot. And he might be the guy that we're looking at, like, that plays like the next Russell Westbrook in terms of his ability to rebound, his ability to find guys in good positions. And now, unlike last year, he's surrounded with some good offensive weapons. RJ Barrett has been fantastic. We talked about this yesterday. The 1-2 punch between him and Scotty this year has been so much fun to watch. And it feels like we haven't gotten that many just because of Scotty Barnes being out of the lineup with injury.
My God.
But this really feels like a good spot where Scotty's going to come in and against SGA, another young guy in this league, a place. This is like those games you want to hang your hat on against other superstars and up-and-coming stars in the league. RJ's been great. Quickly has not come back into this lineup yet. So Scotty is really the one taking over the offensive point guard duties for this team. And I do think with Grady Dick coming back, his play on the perimeter, how good Jakob Poeltl has been inside. I remember when the Raptors traded for him, and everybody, including myself, was like, you guys are tanking. What are we doing here? And I still think Poeltl could be a fantastic piece on a contender, but he has been really fucking good, and he has been so good for this Raptors team. I think that with him in the middle, the over 7.5 assists at plus money for Scotty is just something I can't pass up. And obviously I did sprinkle the triple-double.
What's the play, Kobe? We need to know. What's the play?
Yeah, I gotta know.
Shaggy, did you have one yesterday?
What if it's just
no?
like
we didn't find one yesterday. But it was a smaller slate, right?
Mhm.
But it looks like he might have just posted it.
okay.
He was serious about diving into the NBA.
Why not?
That was a legit thing.
There's a whole scribble.
Oh my goodness.
There's a whole scribbles, boys.
There's a whole article.
No way.
Oh, hold on. Here, I'll do you one favor, chat. Here you go. You don't even need to go to his tweet. There's a piece for you.
Right
Pull
there.
it up.
Spurs money line.
Spurs.
Good old Spurs.
First NBA write-up. Fading my hometown Bulls.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm in.
Honestly, this is the perfect little launch pad for the play that I want to talk about. Kobe, I'd love this, but it's Devin Vassell.
He lobbed it from the chat?
Literally,
he really did. Wow.
Chat, I just want you to know this is the chemistry we have here at BN. From the chat, all right? But it's Devin Vassell. He has been fantastic over his last few games. His line is sitting at over 18.5. No Wemby tonight. The only question marks with Vassell have been his playing time, and that's because of his injury. He's came back from injury. He's been in and out of the lineup too because the Spurs have been very, very cautious with how they've been playing him. But tonight, he's in a spot at home against the Bulls defense that is bottom 2 in the league. They are ranked, 30th in points allowed, 28th in field goal percentage allowed, and they have just been giving it up from any which way. In games with no Wemby last year, Vassell saw a 5% increase in usage rate. He has been fantastic in the few games that he has played this year. And I do think that the 25 plus is very much on the table. And not to spoil anything, because SPJ is about to post it, that is my leg in the little 2-teamer me and him cooked up today. Vassell for 25 points. But at over 18.5, I feel like this is a really good spot for Vassell to kind of come in and have his way with the offense, right? No Wemby in the lineup tonight. Who are they going to be looking at? It's going to be Vassell.
I like that. I love Devin Vassell.
He's so good. And honestly, it sucks that he's been injured this year just because the Spurs have been very good at home, very bad on the road. And it's because their offense has been missing on the road. It's because they're missing a guy who averages over 20 points per game from the offense, right? Keldon Johnson has been coming off of the bench, not playing the greatest, but you have a starting lineup of Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Chris Paul, Victor Wembanyama. And then Harrison Barnes, who has been playing good basketball as well this year, right? That's a good lineup, especially in a West that is so up and down with the way teams have been playing early on.
And I think there's another angle in this game that we should definitely talk about real quick. But Malachi Branham and Blake Wesley on the Spurs with Trey Jones out, and with the older guys, they're playing a younger team and you're at home. The Spurs are definitely going to throw in Blake Wesley and Malachi Branham a little bit more. I've played both of them when Wemby has been in and out of the lineup or Chris Paul has been. And if you go look at their game logs, they do have good games where they score 10 points, 17 points. They're good little guards that don't have contract extensions yet with the Spurs. So the Spurs are definitely going to shake out the tree, see what's going on with these guys with Trey Jones out, and you're playing a young team like the Bulls at home. You're going to test out the young kids for sure. But those lines won't be out till the game starts.
That's another one that we gotta just wait for the game to start. Like, just to reference another one you had to wait for. So Denny the other night, right? That was free money. Sometimes you gotta it's nice to lock in your bets a few hours early, but sometimes if you're betting the prop market, the value really lies in the guys that come up right before because books don't know where to set those lines. That's why they don't leave them hanging all day.
And they get scared because SPGA grabbed the 10.5 in the morning and then texted me about it. And I had to literally wait out all fucking day to press that button. But right before the game started, they gave it to us and it hit in the first quarter.
Yeah. It's a big NBA slate today. There's a lot of different spots to talk about. There's one more, Sook. I want to ask you more about this game than anything else. It was a Sacramento game and the Grizzlies, right? It's two young teams, right? John Morant has been playing better. He's seeing more and more minutes. It's his double-double today. I like the assist line too. That's fantastic. But I feel like I just want to jump straight to the double-double with Ja here just because he's coming off a few games where he hasn't gotten it. He's let me just pull it up here. Sorry. A few games where his assist mark has kind of finished underneath 10, but I think in a game that should be high scoring with this Kings team, he's in a good spot to record some more assists. His line's sitting at 7.5 for -125 if you want to take that. But again, he's only hit this line 3 times in his last 5 games, coming off a game with just 4 assists. But that was also another game that was really wonky against the Mavericks. They outscored them by 18 in the third quarter, then got outscored by 20 in the fourth quarter. Really strange in that one. I think that on the second night of a back-to-back here against a Kings team who really hasn't performed to expectations, the double-double, why not?
I absolutely love the double-double. The Grizzlies are a much better team at home. We see they're 10-3 at home, 4-5 on the road, and I really think that today they know it's Friday night. It's the Kings coming in. They're gonna have to show up at FedEx Forum, and I think every time that you think the Grizzlies are gonna win, playing that John Morant double-double is a perfect play, because as we've seen it, his shooting hasn't developed at a rate that we thought it would or hoped it would, but his passing has always been very, very good. And I think now with that bum knee, we're going to see a lot of games where Ja has 22 points, 21 points, but he's getting 11, 12 assists, especially with all the shooters, all the post players. The Grizzlies are a stacked team. You bring in dudes like Gigi Jackson coming off injury next month. You're just adding weapons to a Ja team. So I love his double-double play anytime you think the Grizzlies are going to win.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be another fun one too. You got young kids in that one. You got a high total, right? Sitting at 242.5. It could just be an interesting one. And this is another spot where guys who have been kind of restricted to not playing 34, 35 minutes per game, books aren't really sure when they're going to make that jump, right? So we might be getting a little more value on a guy who knows, if Ja knows he's playing 31 minutes or 30 minutes that game, he's going to be aiming to do the most with those minutes, not just out there to kind of figure skate, like we like to say in hockey, right? Last game, this was a really weird spread to me in this one, Sook, and I feel like it needs to be discussed. The Phoenix Suns, 1.5 point spread against the lowly Pelicans, dude. The Pelicans are the same team who I couldn't bet against because they were getting blown out so bad. Now the Suns, no Durant, are just a 1.5 point road favorite. Is this real life?
Yeah, this makes no sense to me. And there's a guy I like in this game. Oso Ighodaro, the center.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of course, Shaggy knows who you're fucking talking about.
Of course he does.
I know Oso. The Marquette Golden Eagles, they wish they had Oso last night against Iowa State.
Dude, honestly, Shaggy, talk to us. How good is this kid?
Oso's a baller, dude. I mean, he was a true freshman for Marquette last year, and the guy did it all on both sides of the floor. He was one of their leading scorers. I mean, he battled grown men as a 19-year-old. I mean, the kid's only 20 right now, isn't he? And he's balling out. So how's he doing in the NBA? Doing well?
He is carving out a nice little role on this team. He is low-key an incredible passer. He can get a rebound and whip that shit out to the fucking wings. And also he's cleaning up on the stocks as well. His stocks are juiced, his rebounds are juiced. He's like the dude that the books are afraid of. I think today you can attack this guy in any number of ways. I think he has a chance. I know that on the other side, the Pelicans have Yves Missy, who's been good. He's been good. But I just think Oso is a cut above. I think he's going to have a good night tonight.
Can I just say that the way lobs have been thrown up today from with no planning whatsoever, it's like the 2013 Miami Heat, D Wade and LeBron James. You know what I mean? Throw it up and somebody's going to come down with it.
So funny. I actually looked up that Ray Allen shot. I looked up that highlight today because I wanted to know what year it was from. I was having a convo with an old buddy about it, but 2013, in case you guys are curious, that's when that shot was. Incredible. Incredible.
Wow, over a decade already, hey?
Over a decade.
Dude. Yeah.
Wow.
That was part of me and my buddy's said conversation. Holy shit. That was a long time ago. All right, I get a couple of questions for you Canadians. If you guys are done with the NBA talk.
Yes.
Yep.
Still going. Okay. So I am just knee deep in a map of Toronto right now. So just like some hypotheticals. What's this Mississippi looking word that's not Toronto, but it's right next to it?
Mississauga.
Yeah. So if you're from Mississauga and you're on vacation, are you telling people you're from Toronto?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Like to make it easy. Yeah.
Unless you're talking to another Canadian,
you're just gonna say
yeah. Okay. Yeah, just in general though. All right. Next question. Does that piss off real people from Toronto?
They might cheese a little bit.
Might be a little cheese, but like weirdos more because it's all a greater Toronto area.
It's the GTA. Right.
Yeah.
It's the GTA.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
It's built like Los Angeles. You know what I mean? When you think of like Pasadena, and you think of all these small little neighborhoods around there. Oh, that's exactly what Toronto is.
Yeah, it looks massive. That's for sure. just seeing it.
But if you're from Hamilton, you're definitely not from Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hamilton's far enough
all right.
that you're not from Toronto.
And that's where SGA was, you said?
He was born in Toronto, moved out to Hamilton, and grew up out there.
Yeah, Hamilton, it looks far enough away. That's probably not Toronto. That's probably not
You're from Edmonton, right?
Yeah, he is.
He is. Edmonton, yeah.
This is funny. This is awesome. Oh, I'm a big map guy here. Big map guy.
Big
okay.
Map guy.
All right, last one. Western University is in London. How far is that from Toronto?
Oh, I'd have to look that up.
It's 3 hours. I've made that drive from Toronto to London.
Yeah, three-hour drive. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
See, that just seems like, to me, like a Midwest road trip to go check out the college town or something.
London
like that.
is actually right across I think it's the Michigan River.
Yeah.
From Detroit. So literally, I know people who are they live in Hamilton, London, but they were born in Detroit. Like when it came time for their parents took them across the border, had the baby and everything like that. Now they've got dual citizenship in both countries, right? So they kind of played it like that. So now they tell people that because if they don't know London, right? They don't know London. Like I'm from Detroit. But it's like, motherfucker, you live in Canada. You're not from Detroit.
It's a whole different country. That's funny. Okay. All right. Well, that's enough. That's enough Canadian questions. That just sparked in my mind looking at this map, trying to keep up when you guys were talking.
Fam's actually from what's that other neighborhood in Vancouver? Not Surrey. Gerald, you know which one I'm talking about?
Langley?
Nope. It's
Abbotsford?
No, closer. Burnaby.
Oh, he's from Burnaby. Mr. Sakic is from Burnaby.
I'm starting rumors. Fam's from Ohio.
I was gonna say, I thought Fam was from Cleveland. Maybe not Cleveland, but Ohio.
Ohio, yeah, he is.
Yeah, but if we're being racially insensitive, Fam could definitely be from Vancouver. Wink. Yeah. Wink. If you've ever been to Vancouver, a lot of the people there look exactly like Fam.
All right. Moving on.
Words of wisdom and encouragement. I can tell he's nervous.
Fam, I saw that. Hey, he's playing St. Thomas Aquinas. There's a high school in this city that is called St. Thomas Aquinas that I hate. So go beat their ass, Fam's cousin. Kick his ass.
Let's go, Fam's cousin.
Fam's cousin. Just all that rage you feel towards Fam all the time, take that and put it on the football field.
Yeah, just channel it, Fam. Channel it, younger cousin Fam.
If you play well, one day you can have linebacker shoulders like Shaggy over here. All right, boys. Enough of the high school football. Yeah. Should we jump into this professional with the pros?
Absolutely, we should. Let's talk about some.
Do you guys remember Pros versus Joes? That shit was lit.
Yes.
I actually don't.
No, Shags?
Hey, you gotta YouTube it. Pros versus Joes.
So that might be my age. That just might be my lack of
TV, man.
They are gonna put a dude with a beer belly against a linebacker from the NFL.
Yeah, I was never allowed to watch Spike TV.
No, you gotta take a hit.
That means you've never seen Stripperella either.
Oh
no, not familiar with that one either. Hey, sports science though. Sports science. That was the stuff, man. Yeah, they need to bring that back. But all right, let's talk some Thursday night football. We got as Visa said it, the Packers versus Lions, two of the great offenses going at it, a little NFC North showdown. We'll just let Vsauce take it away. Unless Sook, if you want to start off.
I'll save it. I'll go after.
You'll save it. Okay. Vsauce. Take it away, brother. Take it away. Packers 3-point dogs on the road What's going down?
All right. Let me start by asking a question. Shaggy, does this spread feel short to you? With how good the Lions have been, 11-1, 3-0 against the division at home. At home, this means that on a neutral field, that the Lions are 1 point better than the Packers.
It was what was the line when they were in Green Bay? It was basically a pick 'em, wasn't it? I had the Lions money
4
line.
weeks ago, yeah.
I think I laid like -140.
I think minus 140. It was like 1.5.
Lions money line there. Okay,
And who won that game?
But since then, what have the Lions done? They have won every single game. They have scored 52 points, 40 points. They have done all of this stuff. And now they're playing at home where their offense has been better, where Jared Goff has been better. Out of the weather, all this kind of stuff, the line just feels like, it feels a little bit short to me. But I wrote about this game. Go peep the scribbles. I'll post them in chat in a second. There's a couple of props I like in this side, and I'm not trying to be biased. I got one on each side. I am on the Packers, but I'm not here to pitch you on the Packers. I never pitch anybody on the Pack. Let me take that in my own little corner like SPJ does, and let me be happy or cry on my own. But we're going to start with Jayden Reed, and I wish SPJ was here because he would have a fantastic pitch on this guy. There's so much narrative around this guy with the whole podcast, with him and the Brown brothers, St. Brown brothers, all that kind of stuff. But more than that, Jayden Reed is the most targeted receiver on this team, right? The Packers don't have a true wide receiver one on this team. It feels like it changes week in and week out. Over the last 4 to 5 weeks, we've seen Christian Watson lead the team in targets, but overall on the year, it's been Jayden Reed. Thing is he's had some trouble with some dropped passes, right? I think he leads the wide receiving core in drop passes this season, and it's just been something that has kind of played over the last 2 seasons. He's been much better over the last 4 to 5 weeks as the Packers have been kind of rolling here. Last week, he finally got back into the end zone after being held out for a few weeks, scored 2 touchdowns. He's seen 5 red zone targets over the last 3 weeks, and he has just been that much better. This Lions team has been fantastic against the run. They have been great against opposing tight ends. The only hole in their game has been against opposing wide receivers. They have been very, very bad against opposing wide receivers, allowing opposing wide receivers to average almost 80 yards per game. I think 9 of the 12 that they've faced have hit this line. And I just think that in a spot where Jayden Reed is going to be targeted heavily, I know that last game, you're going to look at guys like he had 113 yards in the last one against the same Lions defense at home. But the thing is even last year, we saw a guy like Christian Watson go off on this team, but it was still Jayden Reed that led the team in targets. Him and Jordan Love have this connection, and there's a reason that LaFleur has this guy as his wide receiver one in this room. He is the main target for this Green Bay offense, and I think today we see him cross the over 61.5 receiving yards. Me and SPJ have laddered him up to 100 plus. That is the second leg of our little 2-teamer today. And I have him to get a touchdown at plus 165. I really like that play.
So, I mean, as far as the line goes, it does seem right to me, I think. This is going to be a close football game. Obviously, Packers with revenge on their mind. We've seen all week long of how beat up the Detroit Lions defense is. They've got one of their starting 8 defensive linemen playing, or who they started the season with is in this ball game. So clearly a very beat up front 7, which I think the Packers will be able to take advantage of. I honestly don't know if I've seen one Detroit Lions ticket all day long on socials, on podcasts, on nothing. So that worries me a little bit. I've got nothing in this game. I will be sitting this one out, hoping for a great Thursday night football game. But I don't know. I don't know. It almost seems like the Packers have already won based off how many people are betting on them. And I know that social media is just a very small percentage of bettors, but not one Lions ticket. Not a single one.
It's the Lions, Shags. It is. Ooh. There's a reason why this team's record is where it is. I'm sorry, but who have the Pack beaten? Legitimately, a team. Do they have any win, a signature win that you're just like, oh my God, that's the game that we knew we're a great team? You're just casually saying like, oh, we don't have a true wide receiver 1. It's different week to week. That's no way to be elite. That's no way to win in Detroit.
Okay.
I like Jameson Williams in this one. Dan Campbell said he will learn from the incident last week. His receiving yards is at 50. I like it there. I'm going to ladder it up before the game starts. That's the only play I have in this one besides the Lions covering that 3.5. I just think the Lions are that good. Forget all the drama about the board being tweeted out. This team does not give any fucks. They are a team that loves to play football. Drama, week in, week out, doesn't matter. It seems like everything is water off this team's back. They do not give a crap. Nothing sticks. And that's why I think the Lions beat up on the Pack tonight, V. I'm sorry.
So you had a lot to say about the Packers schedule, but did you look at the Lions schedule? Did you see the teams that they beat? Because they're the exact same teams. Outside of the Vikings, they're the exact same teams. Houston.
He's got a point.
He's got it.
Tennessee.
I'm looking at it right now.
The fucking Jaguars, the Bears. Come on. They're the exact same teams that they have beat. The Lions have not had a great schedule. If you want to talk about the Lions, they barely beat the Pack and scored just 7 points in the second half of that last game. They won on a game-winning field goal against the Minnesota Vikings. And last week, almost lost to the Chicago Bears if their coach had any level of
competency,
any level of smarts, anything.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And so not a rookie quarterback.
The division is wide open, and I think that people continue to undervalue this Packers team like they have. But
are you taking the spread or the money line?
I'm always on the money line, or I'm on the spread if they're the favorites. It's just a weekly bet for me. It's sometimes it's a donation, sometimes it's not.
There's no doubt in your mind that they're gonna roll up and they're gonna win.
They're gonna win. They did this last year. They have revenge on their minds. You can't have Amon Ra walked out of the stadium last time with a "fuck Green Bay" hoodie. It is not going to be as easy as you think. This Green Bay defense is for real. They have given opposing wide receivers fits all year. Xavier McKinney looks like the best free safety in the league right now. Right? He was Josh Jacobs. Looks like a top 3, top 4 running back in the league right now. And Jordan Love is a top 3 QB in the NFC. I just think that this game is going to be a lot more hard fought than the first one was. He was coming off of a groin injury and literally playing the next week when he should have been.
Well, the first game, okay, in your defense to play both sides, that game came down pretty much to a pick 6. And the Packers, correct me if I'm wrong, did outgain them heavily in yardage.
Yes. Yep.
That being said, fuck the Packers.
Fuck the Packers. I understand.
That's all you got. All right. Go ahead. Go.
I have one play on the other side of the ball just so I can even it out a little bit. It's Sam Laporta. Okay. He has had a very much a down year. Last year, he was averaging over 50 yards per game through the air. This year, it's down below 40. I think sitting around 35 per game. The first few weeks, he was not being targeted at all. But over the last 5 weeks, he has seen 6 targets in 4 of those games. But he's only recorded more than 3 receptions once, right? It's been a tough few weeks for Sam Laporta, but he is being used in this offense. Last week, we saw him finish with 2 touchdowns on 3 catches for just 6 receiving yards, right? His line is sitting at 38.5. This is a line he smashed in both their meetings last year against Green Bay. And Green Bay has struggled against tight ends. They ranked 26th in yards allowed to tight ends. And every single good tight end you've seen them play this year has gone over this line. Jonnu Smith had 10 catches last week for over 100 yards. George Kittle had 80-some yards in their matchup 2 weeks ago. This is going to be another matchup where I think that Green Bay secondary has a little bit of an advantage, but that doesn't mean that these big bruisers like Sam Laporta, David Montgomery, and Jahmyr Gibbs aren't going to have a good time in the middle of the field. So I'm taking his over receiving yards. I did ladder it to 60 because I just feel like a guy who had 60-plus receiving yards 6 times last year, 55-plus in 8 games. He's only done it once this year. He feels like he's really fucking due on a Thursday night, short week against a good Packers defense in a divisional game at home. Just give me the yards this week.
We're just talking about that, Tony Tuggs. Everybody loves Green Bay, it seems like. I would not be rushing to go back the Lions on the spread. If I were leaning the Lions in this game, I would be very, very worried about that hook staring at me right there. I would certainly try. I would certainly try and get the 3 or pay some juice on the money line if you do like the Lions. And like I said, I have got nothing in this game, but Vsauce, man, I gotta follow you into battle. I gotta do it.
Okay, let's go.
I gotta do it. I had to bust out the hat. The wife so graciously brought me back from Green Bay. Look, I backed the Lions in Green Bay. They got the job done for me. Tonight on the spread, I could not be more clear about that, chat. On the spread, I do think Green Bay covers the 3.5. I think it's going to be a hard-nosed football game, well-fought NFC North football game. I think it's going to be exciting. I do kind of lean with the over. I do not have the Nats to take 52. I think that seems a little high, but I do think we see some back and forth. I think this game is settled by a field goal. So I do lean with Packers a little bit, but nothing for me. Nothing for me.
This game is going to be fun, regardless of whatever the fuck happens. It looks like both teams are going to be in the postseason. It looks like both teams might even meet in the postseason. It's going to be a lot of fucking fun. This might not even be the last meeting between these two, right? Hopefully the next one comes in the NFC Championship game, because that shit would be fucking electric. But look at the total in this one. There's so many more touchdowns we could talk about too. Like the one thing I noticed in this one is the Lions have only allowed 10 passing touchdowns all year. All year. Today, Jordan Love's over 1.5 passing touchdowns is juiced towards the over at about -130, -135, depending on the book that you're looking at, right? It looks like a spot where we're going to see points. Jared Goff has 12 of his 22 touchdowns at home in Detroit. The weather is not going to be an issue here. They're inside at Ford Field. We've got narratives between Jaden Reed. Let's not forget the other side of that narrative. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Right? He was the one wearing the Green Bay hoodie. He has all this kind of stuff going on. You got 2 great tight ends, and Sam Laporta and Tucker Kraft, who's touchdown. Obviously, I'm also on because like that dude Tucker Kraft has my heart.
Because it's Tucker Kraft.
It's Tucker Kraft, man. Like he's just the best. It's gonna be a fun one. Cook up some parlays, some little ladder sprinkles. Do what you do, because hopefully this is not like the Green Bay Lions game that we saw a few weeks ago when we saw a very high total. All of us loved the over on that one as we sat here and we talked about it. And then we watched a 24-14 shite game. You know what I mean? So,
I think the weather played
factor
in that one more. Obviously, this one being in the dome, we won't see that. But I agree. We all thought we were going to get a high-scoring game, 2 high-scoring offenses. But these are 2 top 10 defenses as well in terms of scoring. So...
And takeaways, boys. Let's not forget, we haven't even mentioned the 2 corners that lead the league with 7 interceptions each. They're definitely going to play a part in this one before the clock runs to zeros.
Yeah, definitely.
Then you got the fucking special teams with the Lions, who have made insane plays. The 2 fucking fumble recoveries on kickoffs last week to the Titans. Like, yeah, we don't usually look at fumbles like you got the fumble, but you should. They forced 2 fucking fumbles on back-to-back kickoffs, and that was back-breaking for the Titans right off the bat. Sorry, that wasn't last week, a few weeks ago when they really beat the shit out of the Titans. So this is a good team, good takeaways, and good special teams. It should be fun.
Oh, gonna be a fantastic game.
I got a question for you guys, because we were just talking about the total. On my book, I get a lot of weird lines, and I know it pisses NZ off all the time when I send these slips that no one can tell. But I can do 44.5 completions. I like that. If you're in Canada, 365. It's just a total.
Total
just a
for
total in the game.
Both QBs. Okay. Well, not even both QBs, just both teams.
Just both teams. And I also like both teams to score 25 points plus 220. Obviously, that's going to be a quarter unit sprinkle. But if we do see the game, we hope to see 25 each at plus 220. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that would get us right along with our total right there. So, yeah.
That actually feels really nice too. So, because if you look at it, both teams are in the top 7 in points per game, touchdowns per game, and red zone conversion percentage. The thing is Green Bay was having trouble with that early on in the season with Love's interceptions and all that kind of stuff, especially once they got in the red zone. But over the last 3 weeks, they've upped that red zone conversion percentage from 55% to 77%. They're doing much better, playing much better, and finishing drives. It could be a great spot. And if you're going to take the over anyways, why not just take it for plus 220, you said?
Yeah, plus 220 for both to score 25.
That feels good to me. And Bet365, not just Canada. There's some states where you can get it.
Was 25 like the set line there, Sook, or could you do like 26 or 27?
You can do by increments of 5. You can do 20,
okay.
25, 30. Yeah.
I was thinking just from like a football numbers perspective, I would just bump that up to 26 or 27 and see what kind of juice they'd give you for that. So.
Yeah. No, they got I know BetOnline has a bunch of these too, like 2-point conversions. Like this is the type of game, like V said, the Detroit Lions are very, very creative on the offensive end, and both defenses are very good. Both coaching staffs are gonna have to fucking draw on all the tricks in their bag today to try to get that W.
Absolutely.
And we haven't even talked about the running backs in this game yet. You got three elite running backs in Josh Jacobs, Jahmyr Gibbs, and David Montgomery. Montgomery has also not gone back-to-back weeks this year without scoring a touchdown, and he's coming off a game where he didn't score a touchdown against his former team, the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
So
guess who's scoring first?
Yeah.
It's minus 175 for Montgomery to get in that end zone.
So
how many games have Montgomery and Gibbs both scored? Does anyone?
I think at least 7 of the 12.
Because they're both so juiced. You know, they're both so juiced every game. I mean, I wonder if you would be up money if you just paired them both to score every game. You're gonna get plus 170, maybe plus 200, pairing them both together to score. And yeah, it's probably happened more times than it hasn't.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think so, man, because this is just a spot where these guys have been fantastic. It's literally like, have you ever seen two guys buy into a tandem backfield the way you have?
They're so okay with
Sonic and Knuckles, and I'm still mad because neither one scored. But like, they showed up with Sonic and Knuckles. That was sick.
Why do you think I think this team wins today? They have too many weapons.
And you say there's no ego with those two guys either. They're pumping each other up on the sidelines. They know their role. They're fine with splitting carries. They're fine with Gibbs getting 10 more carries this game. David getting 10 more carries this game. Like they're so bought in to Dan Campbell's system and just what he's doing with the offense as a whole. And it's exciting to watch, man.
Never ever has one of these guys ripped their helmet off when they've been switched out.
No. Of course not.
Did you guys see that clip of I don't know if you guys saw this before, but when Peyton Manning lifted the curse at Ford Field? I can't remember what curse it was, but there was some. If anybody in chat knows what I'm talking about, he's there with so you know the guy from Dumb and Dumber, not Jim Carrey, the other guy, Jeff Daniels. He's a big Lions fan, right? So he's like in there. They have this tub full of whiskey, and they pour a bunch of salt into it because I guess there was some curse. And before that, in Dan Campbell's tenure, he had like 3 wins in 25 or 22, 23 games or something like that. And since then, they're like 19-4. Fucking just like kicking ass, taking names. I'll find the tweet and send it to you guys, but it was hilarious. Jeff Daniels and Peyton Manning at Ford Field lifting the curse of some former player, I'm assuming. I think this is the video right here.
That's it right there.
Yeah. Whatever works. You gotta do whatever gets the job done, right?
They've been biting kneecaps off ever since.
Man. Oh man, cool. Well, boys, anything else on this game in particular that we got to discuss?
I have an idea just to pull your legs, Shaggy. I know you don't have anything but the Packers, but we're obviously gonna have a little Betty 3, right?
Absolutely.
Why don't we cook a little SGP for this one too? Just because we've both got some NBA, you've got some college kids. We'll throw that in the Betty 3.
Oh yeah, we'll do a little Thursday night SGP and then a little hoops Betty 3 for the culture. Let's do it. You guys just want to build that up right now?
Let's do it.
Cool. Let's do it. Well, where do we want to start?
I guess we go with Reed and Williams yards. No.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Reed, I'm seeing it over 62.5 right now. Williams at 50.5.
I like it.
Who's finding the end zone?
Both
of
those guys?
Like Jaden Reed literally said he's gonna do a dance when he scores in Detroit. He had like after talking that much shit, you have to score in Detroit. And Jameson Williams, if he gets one of those bombs, like he's probably gone. Like you know what I mean? In games where he hits his yards, I feel like the touchdown comes with it.
Who's drawn Kirby Joseph more, Watson or Reed?
Does he float? Or does he stick to one side? That's what I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that, to be honest.
Where's sick money when you need him?
But I would say that the wide receiver one has been cooking opposed the Detroit Lions.
You're right.
Yeah.
So
let's do Reed for a touchdown then. And then what are the odds on that?
So I got Reed for 62.5 and a touchdown, and then Williams for 50.5 is plus 489. If we threw in a Williams touchdown, it's up to 1,200.
What if we did this? Do we think both running backs are going to find the end zone today? Like, what if instead of Reed, we threw in Monty and we threw in Jacobs with the two wide receivers to hit their yards?
Ooh.
It might not pay as good as with Reed because obviously that touchdown is plus 165, but a little like Jacobs has his red zone rush attempts over the last few weeks have skyrocketed. And like I said, Monty hasn't gone back-to-back weeks without getting in the end zone. You know?
I'm seeing plus 774 for that if we add Jacobs and Montgomery both to score.
That feels nice to me. What do you boys think?
I really, really like that. I don't know why.
Jacobs and Montgomery both to find the end zone. Jaden Reed for 63 yards and Jameson Williams for 51 yards, plus 774 for that 4-teamer.
Oh,
I like it.
You happy, Pappy?
Happy.
I like it.
I like it.
All right. That might have to be it. Jaden Reed over 62.5. Oh, wrong password. Jaden Reed over 62.5 receiving yards. Jameson Williams over 50.5 receiving yards. Josh Jacobs and David Montgomery both to find the end zone. 4 legs plus 774.
I like the sound of that. 774.
I'll do. Let me book that real quick. There it is. Yep. Jameson over 50.5. Reed over 62.5. And then both RB1s to find the end zone. And I mean, hell, if you want to throw in Gibby as well, go ahead and throw Gibbs in there to find the end zone. Get real frisky.
I mean, like, I hope not, but I could definitely see it.
Hey, I think we're gonna see some points in this one. So Packers will have plenty of chances to cover.
Let's add to the Tots pot.
Yeah, absolutely.
We gotta stop saying Tots pot. That sounds super sus.
Yeah, we're
not like sus, but it sounds illegal.
We're gonna need to figure that one out. All right, well, boys, what about the NBA? And then I'm gonna go with Northridge. To be honest, I'm gonna just throw the money line in there for our parlay because it's not gonna be it's gonna be like minus 200 or so. So for a parlay, we'll just go with the Matadors to win the ball game. So we'll start there. UCS Northridge money line minus 210, not too bad. What else we putting in here for the association?
Let's do Oso points, 7.5 minus 135.
Oso.
V, you gonna give us something as juicy as me and Shags did?
Can I not find this guy?
Yes, Brandy.
Oh, there he is. You said Oso points, rebounds?
Just points, 7.5.
Just points, 7.5.
Yeah.
Just points. Mr. Oso, 7.5. Where are you? Oh my goodness. Am I stupid or am I not finding his regular points line?
Maybe it's not up.
Do we have to take him to 10?
I was going to say I've got him to 10.
I don't see it there.
I'm on the blue book right now. It's plus 155.
What's his rebounds then?
His rebounds is Rebounds is over 6.5 for -132.
I don't hate that
KD.
either.
No KD.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have it on a different book? Like, so do you have all these lines on your book?
I do, yeah. But
because then I'm sure Shaggy will get the line closer to game time.
Yeah, hold on.
I can certainly wait to book. I'm getting his PR as well, if you wanted to combine PR.
What's his PR? 15, 16?
So I can go 14.5 -130, or we can go 15.5 for even money.
Ooh, do the -150.
I was to say we can go juicier. We can go 13.5 for -160. We can alt his PR wherever we want.
Should we go 13.5?
Yeah, 13.5 -160. All right, 13.5 PR from Oso Iguodaro over 13.5 PR -160. Vsauce.
For me, give me a Jaws assist over 7.5.
Okay.
Ja assist over 7.5. Let's see. Let me make sure it's not listed weird. Over 7.5. Ooh, they're giving me 8+ for -135. Not sure why they do that. That's the same thing. All right, 3 legs. It's kind of juicy. It's plus 315. CS Northridge money line -210. Oso Iguodaro over 13.5 PR -162, and Ja Morant for 8 assists at -135. We could
add
adjust.
Do we add our comrade into this, Mr. Spurs money line?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's what we're missing.
Yes,
that's what we're missing.
Scribbles, right?
We're throwing in Colby's Spurs money line. -142 is the price that I'm looking at. Plus 601.
There we go
for the 4 legs.
There we go.
There we go. All right. Listen up. Here we go. 3 NBA, 1 college basketball. Oso Iguodaro over 13.5 PR. Ja Morant for 8+ assists. The San Antonio Spurs on the money line. Thank you, Mr. Marcio. And then the Cal State Northridge Matadors on the money line. 4 legs coming together for plus 601.
Ooh, I like that.
That'll be it.
Boys, both the parlays today.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I got a good feeling. I got a good feeling about it. Got a good feeling about this one. Oh,
that was fun, boys.
That was fun. It was a blast, as always. SPJ should leave us alone more often. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, SPJ. I'm kidding. I love you. Come back tomorrow, please. But yes, it was great, as always. It was a good time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for watching us. Wouldn't be here without all of you. Follow my gentleman, Vsauce, over there. It's at Vsauce with 3 A's. My man at Just Sook, as well as myself at Shaggy_bets. And all of us, follow all of us at Your Betting News. We appreciate it always, and would love for you guys to go out and enjoy your Thursday. One more time, the 2 parlays for us. The Thursday night football, same game parlay. Jameson Williams over 50.5 yards. Jaden Reed over 62.5 receiving yards. And Josh Jacobs and David Montgomery both to find the end zone at plus 774. And then the BetSpresso 4 today, actually, with Mr. Marcio's mystery NBA scribbles. We got Oso Iguodaro over 13.5 points and rebounds. Ja Morant for 8+ assists. The San Antonio Spurs on the money line, and when all that hits, we'll be looking at the Cal State Northridge Matadors on the money line to take us home. Those 4 legs plus 601. Looking to donate some more money for the tots. Toys for Tots, man. Gotta love it. All right, boys. Well, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. Any last words before we get out of here?
Go Lions. Honolulu blue is the nicest color there is.
Go Pack, go!
I don't have a dog in the fight, but I'm wearing this hat today, so we'll see how it goes. People, we appreciate you. We will see you guys tomorrow, bright and early. Me and Colby up your units as well as these guys with the El Sauce team in the afternoon. So we'll see you on this channel tomorrow. Appreciate you all. Have a good night. Peace.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? Down in the deep.
Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here.
Rolling.
What you gonna do?
Rolling.
What you gonna do now?
Down in the rolling.
What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit.
What you know about